Well, what's up, everybody? My name's AMB. Welcome to my Summerslam 2026 prediction video here on TRM2. Not always the typical type of content. I have done this before. I actually did SummerSlam 2024 predictions 2 years ago. I did it last year. Then I started a channel, and then I went not super interested in the week to week, so I've become more of a casual fan. So I might do like the little collab post to what my wrestling channel was going to be, and it still might be eventually still there. Did like 3 videos, but I did like Saturday night's main event, first game his last match, prediction, review, and then a Royal Rumble prediction. And then I just kind of like went back up, gonna focus on other projects. But sometimes I still like to give thoughts and things, and why not do it here? I've done some W2K videos here. Might as well do predictions. Again, it's not like I've never done this on this channel before. But we do have a little setup since this is more of like a raw, uncut type of vibe. Let's focus on the Saturday card. I kind of set this up in my streaming software Meld to like flow well. So we have the first night. This is gonna work. I'm gonna give my who I think will win, who I want to win, my general thoughts, vibes as I will be watching the show, and I may or may not make a review. We will see. Either way, though, I don't know which match to start out with. I guess we'll start off with just working our way up to like the bigger matches, start the lower ones. So we'll start at Usos Fatu versus Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa. I've only seen bits and pieces. Like I've been following and listening to podcasts about things that are going on, but like I have not been able to bring myself to watch a full episode of Raw and SmackDown. I do watch some clips, I watch some reactions and stuff, and listen to a few podcasts on things. But as far as the weekly shows, I might be missing some context, so forgive me. I will say my instinct tells me that the Usos and Fatu will win. I see after SmackDown that they brought in Haku, I believe his name. I might have completely butchered that entirely. I might be misremembering it, but I believe his name's Haku for the what were the MFTs. So I do believe that Solo will align with the Bloodline. I think that's just where we're headed. And with Solo aligning with the Bloodline, I would expect that to, happen here and have Usos and Fatu win. And honestly, that's probably what should happen. Maybe that will. It sucks that, Royce Keys and LA Knight will lose, but I do think the Bloodline ultimately should be winning here. So that is my prediction. And I think probably the right choice as well. Then after that, we do have Fatal Influence versus Nikki Bella and Brie Bella and Paige. So the Bella Twins and Paige. The tag team champions, I believe, are Fatal Influence, which you love to see them coming from NXT and having that. I know they've had some situations where they've looked weak for no reason, but I still think that Fatal Influence should win, and I want them to win. I think Paige needs to split up in the single star. I want to see her as all the matches I want to see with Paige are as single matches. So I personally want either Paige to turn on the Bella Twins or the Bella Twins to turn on her. I don't know which one will actually happen, if any. But my prediction, naively, is probably still Fatal Influence. My want is Fatal Influence, and my want is specifically for Paige to turn on the Bella Twins, but I kind of see it more likely that the Bella Twins would turn on Paige. Yeah, but either way, my prediction is Fatal Influence. Which does bring us to the match that probably pisses me off the most, and that's Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. Because we saw this at Saturday's main event. Not Saturday's main event. We saw this at Night of Champions in the Queen of the Ring final. Because for some reason, they've had Liv Morgan in that tournament instead of defending her title in the 100 days. And by the way, if I'm Sami Zayn, I'm about to fist fight someone. Because the fact that Sami Zayn had to defend his title 9 days later, but Liv Morgan has gone 100 days. And it was the same GM who set up the situation. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is so dumb. Either way, I don't know if there will be Judgment Day involvement. I think I saw something that Liv Morgan's still cursed by Danhausen. So my prediction, because of that, kind of has to be Io Sky. I just hope whoever wins, they book this title better, because the way that they've been booking this title is horrendous. But, like, I don't know. Prediction, Io Sky. My want is also Io Sky, because Io Sky is like one of my top favorite wrestlers, male or female. Don't get me wrong. I was happy when Liv won the title. I was happy when Liv won the Rumble. I was really wanting her to win that Rumble. But, like, to me, it doesn't matter who wins, because I just don't have faith in them to book this title, unfortunately. But I'm still going to go Io Sky for both my want and my official prediction, which I guess brings us to Gunther versus Aldis. Nick Aldis, and this is a match that I'm just interested in seeing how Nick Aldis wrestles. I haven't seen a bunch of him on the knees. I've watched a couple matches recently, just that popped up in my YouTube feed, mainly from TNA as Magnus. But I'm still curious to see how this match, just all that ring match. I watched an interview with Nick Aldis, and you could see the passion and how much this match means to him, which makes this match like my second most anticipated match outside of like the Hell in a Cell match. Prediction, Gunther. My want, I mean, Gunther has to win this. I feel like to maintain any credibility, he needs this win. But Nick Aldis, I mean, he should probably lose here, right? Just come up slightly short. But I do hope he can show out, prove why he should be in the ring, and then we see more of Nick Aldis as a wrestler. I think that'd be super cool. But in this moment, I do think Gunther has to win, and that is my prediction, because I think he loses the little bit of credibility he has left after the booking this year if he loses this. And I think that he did retire Cena, AJ, Goldberg, and I do think he needs to maintain some of that aura. I mean, to flesh around, I know a lot of people don't like him. He's a heel. You're not supposed to like him. But I do think when he's in that ring, he is just incredible. So, I am going to go Gunther, but I hope Nick Aldis has a performance that can demand he has an actual wrestling run. But still getting a Summerslam match, which is super cool. Then we have probably the most anticipated match of the weekend for me, that being Oba Brock on the cell. I know a lot of people feel that way, but this match is a make or break the event for me. And I don't think I'm alone in that. Because if they have Brock win, I legit might call it a wraps for WWE for a bit and just go like, I'll take a break, I'll revisit and see where y'all are at the Rumble, because like what? Because for at least now, even when I've been casual, I've still been watching the premium events. But yeah, no. Oba has got to win this. So far, I'm just kind of basing my predictions off hope. And Oba Femi will win this. I don't know if he's going to retire Brock, but at the very least, he's got to like get one over, win this feud, submit Oba as the next top guy. He forgone his WWE Championship match that he rightfully earned in the King of the Ring tournament, and just went nah. So like he's got to prove that was worth it, I think. So my prediction, my want, and my everything says Oba has got to win this match. There will probably be a rant video at some random hour of the night if he does not. Which leads us to Punk versus Cody Rhodes. In this match, forgive me, I don't care. I don't care. The things I've seen for this feud have been dumb. Like one missed shot with the title or something. I've not listened to their promo on SmackDown that I think they had, so maybe that was better. But I just don't care. I want someone to turn heel. I want whoever turns heel to win the belt, whether it's Cody or Punk. And I want They can either feud after that with the babyface chasing, or they can go into different directions. But I don't want them to put the title back in Cody unless he turns heel. And I don't think he's going to. I think the safe prediction is Punk. They just put the belt on him. He's a top guy. It's someone you can see them holding it. I think there's a chance he can turn heel. Like, I think it's plausible. Not probable, but plausible. So I think it matches up with my hope and my want better. I guess my hope would be Cody turning heel. I think it would make the biggest shift in the company, but I think it's more likely for Punk. So my prediction is Punk wins, not necessarily that he turns heel, but Punk wins and retains. You can do Cody chasing or going on there doing different feuds. He doesn't need the belt right now. You can get back in that picture whenever he wants and whenever they need him to. So I'm going to go Punk wins. And my want is also Punk wins, I think. Just a little bit more refreshing than Cody being champ. Though we just saw Punk as world champion, so it's not like super fresh, but still take it. Some different brand, different show, so sure. We'll lock in CM Punk as my prediction and as my want. So all my wants and predictions on this kind of lined up, I feel. So just to clarify, predictions are for Saturday are Usos and Fatu, Fatal Influence, Gunther, Io Sky, Obafemi, and CM Punk. So, yeah. I think I'm confident with those, and those are all kind of who I want to win, too. Now, will I be that upset if Aldous wins? No. I'll think it's stupid, but I won't be that upset. Will I be upset if Liv wins? Depending on the circumstances. If Cody wins and doesn't turn heel, I will be just annoyed. But yeah, those are my Saturday predictions. So let's move on to Sunday. Starting off with Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin, because screw Carmelo Hayes, apparently. The butchering of Carmelo Hayes is making me so sad. Because I viewed him not necessarily like in the Romans of the world, but like kind of like an AJ. Or even like a little Seth-ish. Not like the guy, but a top guy. And Carmelo Hayes has just not had that at all. Do I think Trick Williams and Corbin will be bad? No. But I would like to have seen this actually been either like a triple threat or just save Corbin for the feud after SummerSlam. Because I feel like Trick and Mello was the way. I mean, either way, Trick should win. And I think Trick Williams will win. But will I be upset if Corbin wins? Not really. But I do feel bad for Mello. I feel so bad for Mello. But prediction, Trick Williams. Want is Trick Williams. But Corbin wins, I'm fine. The Intercontinental Championship match with Penta versus Gable. Prediction, Penta. That it shouldn't be. I think he's a great champion. Gable should win. I've traditionally not been the biggest Gable fan, but this is a payoff that you just need to do. You need to give him the title. He's been chasing this thing forever. The whole Grande Americano thing was a crash out that basically stemmed long term off of this. The full circle moment you can have if Gable just wins and beats Penta for this belt. Beautiful story. Beautiful follow up to everything that's happened over the last couple of years. Gable should win. I don't trust this company, so I'm going Penta. We'll see if I'm wrong. This is one I hope to be wrong on. I'm not getting my hopes up that Gable's winning. I'm just not. So, for that reason, predictions Penta, and this is the first one where my want is Gable. Will I be upset? A little bit, because you just should pull the trigger here. There's no better time to pull the trigger on Gable than right now. Which leads us to Finn and Sammy, a number one contendership for either at this point Cody or CM Punk's title, whoever is champion at the time of this match. So, but it's for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Finn Balor, this is a 10-year anniversary to the event that he won the Universal title and then had to relinquish it. So I think it would be cool for Finn to get this win at SummerSlam in 2026 to kind of repeat 2016, not the injury. And I would like to see him go for a world title. So my want is actually Finn Balor. I think it's the most refreshing choice. We just had Sami Zayn as champion, even if it was only for 9 days. And I would like Sami Zayn to lose this and kind of have more of that spiral into madness. And then hopefully, whether it's Mania or a different Saudi show or some other time, build back up to that to get that world title and have it more of a reign with it. Will I be upset if Sami Zayn wins? Not really. I think it's fine. And I think my prediction is actually going to be Sami Zayn. And this is another one where we're kind of now getting into a different swing of things here. But yeah, no, I think my prediction is going to be Sami Zayn. My want is Finn Balor. I just think Sami Zayn has the most storytelling that they'll want to do and follow up with in WWE in those like events in the fall. So yeah, no, I think I just see Sami Zayn winning this and then feuding with either Cody or Punk versus Finn. I think Finn would be more refreshing, so I think that's why I want Finn. But my prediction is Sami. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio on a human money on the pole match. I don't think it shows it here. Yeah, no, it doesn't show it here on the graphic. But that's what it is. Human money is on the pole match. I mean, Dominic Mysterio is still Triple H champion, right? Like, I didn't miss anything that, like, suddenly got taken off at him. And this, like, you're building up to Triple Mania soon that is in a night of it's in Las Vegas. To do your champion of that brand so dirty. Like, what are we doing? Prediction Danhausen just should not be in this match. Dominic shouldn't be in this match. This is a dumb match. My want is I don't want Danhausen's like curse thing to be, but like Tom should not be losing this. So my want is a reluctant Dom, but either way, this match just to me feels like a lose-lose and it feels stupid. Like I feel like if you did this match with like a Joe Hendry, I know they kind of did that dumb segment, but if you did it against a Joe Hendry or did against a character that wasn't actively involved in something that should be bigger, or even if it was like JD McDonough, if it was like Danhausen versus JD McDonough, that would have been so much more like less jarring because you could put Danhausen in a silly match against JD McDonough. Like JD McDonough's great and deserves better, but like that would have worked. But when you have your top champion of the company you just inherited and the brand you've now built, and you were building to a 2-night Triple Mania with one of those nights in Las Vegas, why are we butchering the champion like this? So my prediction's Danhausen because they're just gonna do that. My want is Dom to somehow get around this and still win and still somehow keep Danhausen, but that's a stretch. But prediction is Danhausen. It's dumb, but like I think they just pivoted themselves into a lose-lose situation. Which leads us to the interim WWE Women's Ladder match because Rhea Ripley's obviously injured. I'm in the minority. I prefer interim titles versus vacate, and I just prefer that merger to happen after the champion comes back. Because I think to become champion, you should always have to beat the outgoing champion, unless they like leave or something. I think relinquishing should be held to a minimum, unless you just like refuse to defend the title. But there's obviously a missing spot on this graphic, but that spot is Lash Legend. I would love if they put this on Lash. Tiffany Stratton should not win. She's the U.S. title. Why is she even in this match? She should be defending the U.S. title. Raquel should have beat Sol Ruca on this too. But we're just... this company is interesting. I think it's going to be Charlotte or Jade. My want is Lash Legend. I think doing a trial run with someone, a young star, it isn't even the real women's title, it's the interim title. I think now is the time. I wouldn't hate if it was Chelsea. Jade, we just did the belt, and I think Jade should go after the US belt. That's how I feel about Jade right now. Charlotte and Jade are in a feud. They could either fight over the US belt, but I kind of see Charlotte winning this. My prediction is going to be Charlotte. That way they can do Charlotte and Jade for the title, and the winner of that can face returning Rhea. But my want is Lash Legend, and you have Charlotte and Jade try to beef up the US women's division, potentially. Or you can even do like Charlotte and Lash Legend, and you can even hot potato it. But I think giving Lash this moment would be huge. So my want, again, is Lash Legend. My prediction is Charlotte Flair, which isn't the worst. Maybe they could also do something with Charlotte and Alexa. I would love to see Alexa in a major title program again, but I do find it unlikely. Which leads us to the main event of night 2. Seth, Roman, Bloodline. I think this is marketed as like their final dance, which I don't believe. And I want Seth to win. I do. The reason I want Seth to win is I never want Roman to have that. The thing that has always been, Seth has mentioned, is how Roman has never beaten him. Like, legitimately. And I want that to remain the thing. I want that to be Roman's kryptonite that he never gets. That's why I don't want everyone to be a Grand Slam champion. Not everyone should have that resume. And I feel that way with this. As I feel like with Roman and his like undeniable legacy, Seth having that one little thing of like, you would never beat me. I would like to stay intact. My prediction though is Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns does beat Seth, and I think they do just make Roman Reigns the undisputed GOAT in their eyes of the company. I just don't think it's needed. I'd rather have Seth either win, or maybe there's a way to get around this where Seth, like Roman keeps the title, but Seth doesn't lose traditionally. But we'll see. They've kind of veered away from interferences in Roman Reigns' bench, which I can appreciate. But I think this is one where I would just like Seth to still somehow have that little bragging right. Though I do think Roman will just win, and they'll put an end to that story. So those are my predictions. To run down night 2, my predictions are, not my wants, but my predictions. Trick Williams, Penta, Danhausen, Sami Zayn, Charlotte Flair, and Roman Reigns. And these have been my predictions for SummerSlam. I know, slightly different video than what typically goes up on TRM2, but that's kind of what the purpose of the channel is. A little experimental content, mostly Twitch Vods, and all that fun stuff. Tomorrow's video most likely will not be as fun a one, but will be one that needs to be uploaded. Or that might be Monday. We will see. And we'll see if I make a review. Either way, I might post like little thoughts on the community page. We'll see. And yeah, I'm Navy. I'm just sweet. Be the real you.